Zippity, top of the morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hadley Riffkin, and welcome to the News Desk, your one-stop shop for all things Barney news. Let's take a look at our headlines today, shall we? Up first, 2 new big cases of Barney lost media, new merch collaborations, and a major character turning 20 this year. You're in for a real treat, so let's get it started. So one of the big stories this month is how a former piece of Barney lost media has now become public. However, we didn't even know it existed. So, I mean, maybe it's not lost media if we never knew it was lost. It was lost to somebody at some point. Anyway, a video from a Dallas area birthday event dated September 1991 featured the very first ever Lions licensed Barney birthday party costume in the wild. Now, why is that such a big deal? Because this is the first ever officially licensed birthday suit developed by Irene Corey, modeled after the original 1988 Backyard Gang design. We've only ever had a handful of images of what this costume looked like, but now we have real footage of it in motion. You know, and I got to say, he's a thin fella. I mean, he's a little bit odd. That's probably because this costume is made using spandex as opposed to the show costumes which use Antron fleece. Now, I know those people on Twitter calling this guy the CGI Barney, Ozempic Barney. Yeah, they clearly haven't met my friend over here, Blue... Well, he's not a dog. Blue Cat? This tape is extra wild because of the timing. Rock with Barney was released through Neiman Marcus on September 21st, 1991, alongside an entire Barney boutique push. And then 8 days later, this event happens. And on top of that, this is tied to a big performer milestone, because Carrie Stinson, who lots of Barney history people recognize, started doing Barney birthday appearances in Dallas 1991. So this is probably one of his first gigs performing as Barney. For the uninformed, he'd later go on to play the Dapper Dino in stage shows and eventually replace David Joyner in the TV series for about a decade until the show's conclusion. Speaking of live shows, big story number 2 is leaked rehearsal footage from the 1996 tour, Barney's Big Surprise. And listen, tour footage exists. It was released on home video, but rehearsal footage, that is the unicorn. It's really cool getting to see the actors not only perform, but actually learn the choreography for songs like Baby Bop Hop and Happy Birthday to Me. Carrie Stinson is also in this footage as Barney. This is a big month for him. Now, the original upload has since vanished, with the uploader requesting it not be shared too much on YouTube. That's why I'm only showing you these few small short clips. But it's still unreal seeing the human work in progress happening, with all the hard work and talent that goes into making a stage show look effortless. Which, I mean, it's not effortless. It's a lot of sweat. It's theater. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I actually do fancy myself quite an actor back in the day. I actually was in Alvin and the Chipmunks the Squeakquel. You should go... Anyway, this isn't the point. Back to the news. Next up is probably the best piece of merchandise Mattel has ever put out. The Barney official Loungefly backpack. Now, if you're unaware, Loungefly is this really big company that makes these premium quality backpacks for all sorts of licensed brands. They're really nicely made, and so it's quite an honor for Barney to get one for himself. Now, unlike the usual Mattel clip art on fabric situation, this was clearly designed by Loungefly themselves, because instead of some random print, they went with full character face design where Barney's arms physically wrap around and hug the front pocket. And if you turn it around, the tail is attached with a rivet, so it can move. See, this is what I've been begging for. Loungefly quality stuff that matches what they do for Disney, but for Barney fans. This really isn't the kind of merchandise that screams, I found this in the clearance bin. But that's a perfect segue onto our next topic, which is the other Barney merchandise that's been released recently. First off is Japan's Perky Zippy x Barney collab. Now, these did come out quite a while ago in November of 2025, but they've recently made a big resurgence. The color palettes are very trendy, the embroidery is nice, and these overalls are just adorable. I would slap my kid in one of these, if my wife would ever call me back! Now, unfortunately, not all of the merchandise can be that good. Next up on the chopping block is Box Lunch. Now, if you're unaware, Box Lunch is a subsidiary of Hot Topic. They're the more kid-friendly aisle, okay? That's important information. Basically, Box Lunch has given us some memorable designs in the past. And by memorable, I mean But hey, you can't judge a book by its cover, so let's take a look at the merchandise. This graffiti mineral wash hoodie is actually pretty nice in my opinion. The shiny art works, the colors are deep, and it's got a nice sort of vibe. The same cannot be said for the Hug Life t-shirt. Guys, the Hug Life joke wasn't funny back in 2017, it's not funny now, okay? And now we reach this grey-pink croquette ribbon tee that feels like, well, they're really trying to trend chase. Barney just feels very much inserted into an otherwise unrelated design. Now, I want to show you something. Riddle me this, you know? Take a look at this Sabrina Carpenter t-shirt. Now, these look very similar. They have similar colors and similar theming with the ribbons. Now, this shirt was released back in 2023, and these kind of merchandise drops are planned about 1 to 2 years in advance most of the time. So I kind of believe that someone at Hot Topic saw this Sabrina Carpenter t-shirt, which was also made by Hot Topic, and went, Barney, that's what we're gonna do. Barney. I assume that's what you Americans talk like. Anyway, I find this quite odd. I mean, these two have very different agendas. I mean, they're both based on love? I don't know, moving on. Oh, this one is also not very good. The blue is not working for me. Again, it's just more clip art. Now, why do we always get these bad designs with this licensed apparel? Because all of it runs off of pre-approved style guides and preset art packages. Retailers aren't always building concepts from scratch. They're often picking from a safe menu of approved layouts, graphic treatments, and character art usage rules from the company, in this case, Mattel. It speeds up approvals like crazy, but the downside is everything looks super safe, super generic, and very similar across the board. Hot Topic technically made the products, but they're making them within a very tight box of what's already approved by Mattel. Which is why when outside collaborators actually design, like Loungefly, suddenly the product is way better. Here's a few more rapid fire topics before we move on to our next segment. First up, Riff turns 20 years old this year, marking his debut in 2006 with Welcome Cousin Riff and Let's Make Music. So let's give it up for the Riffster. For 20 years of beautiful, beautiful existence, he is the reason we're all here. A horror comedy called Buddy has recently premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, and the premise is effectively Barney, but horror. How original. And finally, the Barney logo has popped up on the website for Overlord Cats, implying we're getting some new designs in the coming future. Now, these guys usually cook, so if they have the Barney license, we'll be eating our crumpets and eating them good. Pip pip talio, good fellows. It's officially time for Barney Merch of the Month, where I take a look at Barney memorabilia from the days of old to realize how much better we had it. I have acquired a legend. His cheeks are so cute, they're so chubby. This is the original 1990 Barney Dakin doll, which was the first ever officially released Barney plushie. Now, this guy actually matched the versions of the plushies they used in the home videos around this time, so it's almost like owning a screen-used replica. And yes, this is the version without the white string on the mouth. Those ones are especially rare. They were released first, but they removed the white string from the mouth because apparently it was a choking hazard. Now, I always assumed kids just wanted to kiss Barney, and that's why they took it off. That could be the reason. Anyway, I actually quite prefer this doll without the string mouth. I don't know, I find this string looks pretty odd. I mean, look at his little face, his little wide brim. He's very different from other Barney dolls, but I think that's what gives him his undeniable charm. I mean, look at those eyes. He's so devious. What does he know? Maybe it's the weather. And now, Barney with the weather.
Hugs everywhere.
Okay, now it's time to rate this little fella on the Riffometer. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. Because come on, he's got undeniable charm. Look at the aura.
It's time for Ask Hadley!
Oh, wow, is that a new shirt? Oh, call me later. Okay, let's get into some questions.
Hadley, what do you think about Barney's World?
Oh, that is such a good question. I think you should lock your doors at night.
Hadley, what is your favorite condiment on toast?
That is a toughie. Good question, my friend. Okay. Everyone's always hyping up peanut butter and jelly, but like, I've never had jelly before. I had jam, but never jelly. I didn't even think it was a real thing until a couple of years ago. I always thought it was something from one of those fantasy novels, like unicorns or dolphins. If you want to be featured in the next Ask Hadley segment, drop your question in the comments below this video. I'll be waiting and lurking. Politely. And that's all for our news today, which means it's time for a little songy song action. If you know the words, come on, join us.
There's a new outro sweeping the country, and it's called the Deskie dance. Thanks for watching my show. It's the first episode. I hope you'll give it a chance. Are you ready now? Because it goes like this. Mary Poppins. First you click, click, click. Click subscribe in its place. Click it, I know you want to. You can also join the Deskies. Come and chill in our space. We'd love to have you. Cause if you want extra videos and content, the membership is where you'll find it. So let's do the Deskie dance.
I've been Hadley Riffkin. Thank you so much for watching the News Desk. Stay victorious, and we'll see you next time.